today we're back with another Artlist Journal video, and it's Artlist Journal number 2. So, Mummy!
What, are you recording now?
Yeah, of course.
Hi everybody! I guess we're doing this now. Alright, what are we going to do today?
You got to do your sides. I did mine Galaxy, and also you got to do your drip, like where you drip coffee, but instead I dripped water paint and I drew a little paintbrush.
Okay, so I'm going to go do my edges and my coffee drip page.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
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 Go.
Go. Alright. So it is time for me to catch up. So I want to do this edge around here before I work on the book too much more. You can see here the pages do buckle quite a lot. I'm sure that's only going to get worse as I go. So I want to do that before it gets too big. This is the page where it starts from. I'm just going to use a Sharpie and cover this whole page in a pattern. And that pattern is going to then, well, my plan is for it to kind of extend over the edges the whole way around the book. If you've been around for a little while, you know how much I just love Japanese pop culture and everything that is kawaii. So I am going to cover this page in little soot sprites. Soot sprites are a little animated character from the Miyazaki Studio Ghibli films. I think they're probably most well known from the My Neighbor Totoro film. They are a cute little creature that hides in empty houses. They also turn up in the in Spirited Away as well. Looks like the Sharpie is bleeding through a little bit, so I am swapping to my Copic pen. And yay, success! This one doesn't bleed through as much, so I'm going to stick with this one. One by one, I am just going to cover this page with my little soot sprites. It's finished! Oh, they are so adorable! I'm really happy with how they turned out. My little soot sprites pouring in from the corners. Okay, so now I need to work these little soot sprites all around the edge. I'm going to use a clamp just to help me keep that book really tightly closed while I work on it. There we go. Okay, my soot sprites are all finished. Oh, they're adorable, and you can see how they explode all around the edges. So it's now time for me to start my coffee page. I've done a little rough sketch here of my favourite coffee cup, and now I'm going to paint this picture entirely with coffee. Just coffee for this whole page. So let's go make some paint. I have got my coffee.
A different coffee.
And I am going to have a go at painting with it. Let's see how we go, right?
Okay.
How did that feel?
Felt weird. Like that? Is that a hole?
That's a hole.
There we go. That's a good hole. Okay,
so I am just going to start picking up a bit of coffee and painting it on. I'm going to start with the background and work my way up from there. So I can tell already that it's quite a light colour. It's not as dark as I thought it would be. I thought I would have to kind of water it down, but it's really light, so I'm just going to use it straight. And I'm just using my regular water pen that I use for everything. All my watercolours, I just use this same water pen. I've kind of become familiar with it, and I like how I can just pick it up without having to have, you know, jars of water on my desk. It's just really easy. So background's finished, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of like a horizon kind of table line there. I'm trying to pick up like the little darker bits of the crema from the top of the coffee shot to kind of make it a little bit darker. But it's pretty light. It's bleeding through a little bit there, you can see, but I think when I'm going to cover that up with gesso at another time once it's all dry and I need to work on the next pages. So Alice is working on she's lapped me already. She is working on her poke holes page, and she's drawing donuts around those. So now I've mixed up a little bit of instant coffee here because I decided that I needed a darker shade of coffee than what my watery one was giving me. So now I've got 2 coffee little pots going, and I'm just filling in all the gaps now, working with either the darker one or the lighter one.
With how it's turning out, and it smells fantastic. This would have to be the best smelling artwork I've ever done. So now I'm happy with how that's all turned out. I'm just going to fuss around a little bit now. Hopefully I don't wreck it. And I'm just going to go back in with this darker coffee and add little bits of darker detail, some darker shadowing, just to kind of make this coffee cup pop up a little bit more from the background. And I'm going to make my coffee spill a little bit darker as well. And it's all done! Alright, I better get back to Alice and find out what's next. Okay, I've done them. What's next? You have to do your holes. Okay, the hole poking page, right? And then what? And then it looks like I've got to do the... Okay, you got to stand here. I stood here and drew pictures inside my foot. Okay, alright. So next I've got to do my, the poking the holes and the stand here. I'll go do that now. Shoo! Alright, catching up again. The holes has given me an idea, and it's reminded me of the holes that in fruit that from the Hungry Caterpillar kids storybook. So I'm thinking that I can draw a picture of like the actual hungry caterpillar on the left, and then maybe I can do like maybe some of these little foods for the page that has the holes. So here I am just doing a little bit of a rough sketch. I think this is going to be really cute. And then on this page now, I've managed to fit in one pickle across those, the piece of pie and the lollipop there. There's a few little extra holes that I haven't been able to kind of incorporate, so I am just going to cover them up. I'm just going to use my regular gesso and just do a little quick smudge and cover those up so they disappear. So there seem to be two different types of greens mainly for little caterpillar's body. One is like more of this darker spearminty kind of colour, and then the other one is more of like an appley yellowy green. So it's looking good.
needs to be a little bit darker, and maybe a little bit of streaky yellow through there as well. Chuck in a little bit of yellow here and there. I'm not going to fuss about whether it's exactly in the right spots or not, doesn't really matter. Still needs to be a little bit darker. I'm going to go back, grab a little bit of the blue, quite strong. Looking good. Time to do his face. His face is bright fire engine red. I hope that edge is dry enough so that the colours don't bleed there. And that's looking good. A little bit of purple for his antennas. And a little bit of a browny grey colour for his little triangle feet. And now, using my same brush again, I've just got this one watercolour brush I'm using. I'm just picking up a little bit of the dark green colour, and I am just going to do his little furry caterpillar, little caterpillar hairs along his back there. Clean my water brush off, and it is time to do his eyes. Yep, I think it's dry enough that they won't smear. And now I get to watch him kind of come to life. And add a little bit of a wonky triangular kind of shape for a nose. And he is done. So I have finished my little caterpillar. He is all done. And I've got my 3 little food pieces over here that he is going to eat holes in. I've got the pie, the lollipop, and the pickle. I could have done a 4th one up here to make use of these 2 holes that are up there, but I tend to like 3 objects better than 4. I think it just looks better. So I'm going to start with the pie. I have done the little pie pieces in just different colour berry shades, and I threw in a little bit of like a dark purple there just to give the berries a little bit of depth. And then once that dries, I will fill in the white gaps around those berries with a pale pink. Lollipop time. You can see the difference here, that like it's like a paler area here. That's where I've got gesso on the paper to cover up some of the staining. So it just needs a little bit more watercolour on the gessoed area, and then it matches just fine. Let's do the brown stick. Okay, hey, it looks great. Alright, now the pickle. So it's quite green, a real appley green, and then little flecks of darker one to give the look of bumps. Some dark parts, some lighter parts. I'll throw in a little bit of the darker one. Okay, I've got to let it dry, and then I'm going to do the little flecks over the top. Right, in the meantime, I think I can now do the background of this. Hey, and it's looking good. I don't think I'm going to want to poke holes in this now. Done. Yay! I think that is super cute. Okay, I'm going to wait till it's dried a bit. Oh, can you see the metallics there I've used in that one? Look at that. Can you see that? That's really nice. Okay, it is time. it has sufficiently dried. The instructions tell me I need to use a pencil and poke holes. No! Just do it, Sam, do it! Ah! There we go! I've got no idea what I'm going to do on the other side yet. I'll think about that later. So the next one I'm going to do is stand here. Wipe your feet, jump up and down. You can see from the coffee page on the page before that a lot of the coffee has really bled through onto this page, so I have to cover that up. I'm just going to use the regular Liquitex gesso that I use for all of my mistake covering and background priming. So my plan is I am just going to draw and paint a pair of my favourite shoes on this page. I am going to put my shoe here against my laptop reference. You can see the differences in the background here from where I applied the gesso, but I don't think that's going to matter. It'll all kind of come together in the end. I'm going to outline this drawing. I don't always do that, but I think it'll suit this drawing a bit more, and I'm using the Faber-Castell Artlist pen. So I'm using this one because it is a totally waterproof drawing pen. I'm using this one in the brown, it's the sepia colour. Now is a good time for me to show you what I got for Christmas. I have been looking at these metallic watercolours for a while now. They are made by a German company called Colero, and they are gorgeous. They are highly metallic, and I thought this could be a really good project to give them a try out. They don't loosen up and become usable really quickly like other watercolours that I've got. Like the Jane Davenport, as soon as I touch my wet brush to them, the pigment is just lifting off really easily. These need a little bit of time to soak. So my plan is just to colour all the basic elements in first, and then I'll go back and add some shadows and things. Right, so now this page doesn't have the gesso on it like the other page does, and so the watercolour is actually going on a lot more even. But I don't think it'll matter. I'll go back and add a second coat of some of the colour over some of those patchy areas, and it should balance it out. So I'm going to use the darker colour, which is this darker brown, to add some shadowing. So the natural shadowing would be where the tongue is, and like heading under there and around some of the edges. Alright, getting there. Now those toes look far too white. We're going to have to do something about that. A little bit of shadowing on one side and on the other. Same on this one. Okay, now those laces are a little bit too white as well. I'll have to do something about those laces. I'll leave some bits of the pure white dotting through it just so that you can tell that it is kind of meant to be white. Those little holes need to be dark. Hey, this is looking okay. There we go. There goes my time for the day. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. You can really see that pink metallic. but I'm thinking that the white background is a little bit blur. So because I've got a nice dark brown metallic paint here to use, I'm going to paint the background in with that and hope that I don't wreck what I've done so far. So I love how this has turned out. I'm so happy with it. I love these metallics. I just think they are just fantastic. I'm really keen to get more of these watercolours. I think they're great. And so that is it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions at all about any of the products that I've used today, or anything else at all, please just put a message in the comments down below the video, and I will love to help you out if I can. Okay everybody, I hope you really loved that episode of our Wreck This Journal. We are just loving this book. It is so much fun. It really does get you to be creative in ways that you would never have dreamt of before. It's a fantastic challenge. You liking it, Ali?
Yep. And make sure you stay tuned for Wreck This Journal Part 3.
Oh, and you know what we've got to do next? Have you read the back where we actually have to post it back to ourselves through the mail? Okay. So I think I'm going to do this one in the next episode, because if this got lost in the mail, I would be devastated, because I'm becoming quite attached to it. And I think I better do it before I put even more art into here that I love. So I think we'll do that one next. So okay.
Stay tuned for Part 3. I don't think you would want to miss that.
Okay.
And I hope you subscribe and give a big fat thumbs up.
Thanks, Al.
Love you guys. See you next time.
See you guys. Bye.
In my room, you could just go in a lounge room.